Here's a number that should keep you up at night. A target company's normalised EBITDA is 20.7 million. Your model says the deal works. But when you trace the cash, actually follow it from the income statement through CapEx, working capital and taxes, only 15.5 million arrives. $5.2 million vanished between profit and cash. At an 8 times multiple, that's over $40 million of valuation error. And nobody caught it because nobody built the bridge properly. I'm John Colley, 30 plus years in M&A and private equity. In this video, I'll show you the 5 specific traps where cash flow quality gets destroyed. CapEx misclassification, working capital timing, cash tax diversions, off-balance sheet drains, and growth CapEx disguised as maintenance. With a Summit Industrial Services walkthrough that proves why this matters. This is part 7 of an 8-part series on financial due diligence. Let's get into it. Cash flow analysis. Where the real money hides. Here's a number that should keep you up at night. A target company's normalised EBITDA is 20.7 million. Your model says the deal works. But when you trace the cash, actually follow it from the income statement through CapEx, working capital and taxes, only 15.5 million arrives. $5.2 million vanished between profit and cash. At an 8x multiple, that's over $40 million of valuation error. And nobody caught it because nobody built the bridge. That's what we're fixing today. Here's the fundamental truth of financial due diligence. EBITDA is an opinion. Cash flow is a fact. Every target company will present beautiful EBITDA numbers. Your job is to answer one question. Does this business actually convert its earnings into cash? The tool for answering that question is the EBITDA to free cash flow bridge. Start with normalised EBITDA, not reported, normalised using everything we covered in our quality of earnings lecture. Then subtract maintenance CapEx. Then subtract the cash absorbed by working capital changes. Then subtract cash taxes actually paid. Then subtract any other recurring cash drains, lease payments, debt service, required distributions. What's left is your true free cash flow. Every step in this bridge is a place where value can leak. The metric that captures all of this is the conversion quality ratio. Free cash flow divided by normalised EBITDA. A healthy business converts 60 to 80%. Above 80% is exceptional. Below 50% is a red flag that demands investigation. Below 30%. You may be looking at a business that generates accounting profits but not real money. Now let's look at the 5 traps that destroy cash flow quality in M&A targets. These are the places where those $5 million can disappear. Trap 1. Capital expenditure misclassification. The seller tells you their maintenance CapEx is 2% of revenue. Industry benchmarks say 4 to 5%. What's happening? They've been deferring maintenance to inflate free cash flow ahead of the sale. Or they've been capitalizing costs that should flow through the P&L, software development, routine repairs, even marketing spend. Ask yourself, has CapEx as a percentage of revenue declined in the last 2 years while the business grew? Trap 2. Working capital timing. Sellers manage working capital aggressively before a sale. They extend payables, paying suppliers slower. They accelerate collections, offering discounts for early payment. They draw down inventory. All of this makes cash flow look better in the measurement period, but it's borrowed from the future. Your normalized working capital analysis needs to strip out these timing games. Trap 3. Cash taxes diverge from book taxes. The P&L shows a 25% tax rate, but the business has been using accelerated depreciation, R&D credits, or NOL carry-forwards that are about to expire. Future cash taxes will be materially higher than historical. Always ask, what will the actual cash tax rate be post-acquisition under the new structure? Trap 4. Off-balance sheet cash drains. Operating leases, earn-out payments from prior acquisitions, required distributions to minority partners, environmental remediation obligations. None of these appear in EBITDA, but they all consume cash. Build a complete picture of every recurring cash obligation. Trap 5 works the other way. Growth CapEx disguised as maintenance. If the seller is spending to expand capacity, open new locations or build new product lines, that spending supports the growth embedded in your model. Strip it out of your free cash flow calculation, and you'll understate the investment required to deliver your projected returns. Let's apply this to Summit. Reported EBITDA, 18.5 million. After our quality of earnings normalization work, we arrived at 20.7 million. Remember, the seller's confidential information memorandum claimed 23 million in normalized earnings. We already cut that back by 2.3 million in our quality of earning lecture. Now build the bridge. Maintenance CapEx. Summit claims 1.8 million, but comparing against industry peers and Summit's own asset age schedules, true maintenance CapEx is 3.1 million. They've been deferring equipment replacement. Working capital absorption. Our quality of earnings work revealed Summit stretched payables by 18 days pre-sale, creating a 1.2 million timing benefit that reverses post-close. Cash taxes. Summit's effective cash tax rate rises from 19% to 24% post-acquisition due to NOL expiration. That's an additional $600,000. Other drains. A $300,000 annual environmental compliance obligation disclosed in the legal due diligence. The result. Summit's free cash flow is 15.5 million. The conversion quality ratio is 75% off our normalized EBITDA, solidly within the healthy range. But if you had modeled off the seller's 23 million claim, the implied ratio drops to 67%, and the absolute cash shortfall against the seller's number widens to 7.5 million. That delta is where Vanguard Partners protects its investment by starting the bridge from the right number. Here's your practical checklist. Request 3 years of detailed cash flow statements. Build the EBITDA to free cash flow bridge independently. Don't use the seller's version. Benchmark CapEx intensity against peers. Analyze working capital trends for timing manipulation. Model forward cash taxes under the post-acquisition structure. Catalog every off-balance sheet cash obligation. Calculate the conversion quality ratio and flag anything below 60%. Here's your one-line takeaway. Never value a business on EBITDA until you've proven the cash actually arrives. The EBITDA to free cash flow bridge is your single most important analytical tool in financial due diligence. Master it, and you'll catch the valuation errors that junior professionals miss every day. Before we leave the financial workstream, there is one more lecture to complete the picture. In the next lecture, we build the enterprise value to equity value bridge, the mechanism that converts the headline deal price into what the buyer actually pays the seller. Net debt, debt-like items, cash-like items. Each one adjusts the price. Get the bridge wrong, and you overpay. Master it, and you close the loop on everything we've covered in Section 2. That is where the real money hides. 5 traps, each one capable of destroying deal returns silently. The conversion quality ratio is your single most diagnostic number. Anything below 60% demands investigation. Anything below 30% is a business that generates accounting profits, not real money. In the final video of this series, we close the loop. The enterprise to equity bridge. The mechanism that converts the headline deal price into what the buyer actually pays the seller, where every Summit deal has $10 million of items that don't appear in management accounts. If this was useful, the complete slide decks and Summit case study are available as a free download. Link in the description and the pinned comment below. I'm Colley, and I'll see you in the next video.